Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Aza and this is your place for all things fitness, wellness, lifestyle, all of which are chaotic. Today we're going to be talking about 10 life things that I wish I knew earlier. I want today's video to be super quick because I know we all have short attention spans, but I want it to be impactful. So I'm giving you the best 10 tips that I've been using to help myself. And I just want to disclaim that I am by no means claiming that I have anything together. I'm not. I'm 21. My life is crazy. But these are just things that I've learned recently or over time that I think will help you because they've been helping me in my everyday life. So without further ado, number 1, your environment matters. My mom always used to tell me that your environment is a direct reflection on your mental space. So if my room was messy, she'd say, you're probably not at your best mentally. And it's true. Going into my adult life and learning how to keep myself together and take care of myself, I really realized the impact on the organization of my surroundings. If my kitchen is constantly dirty, if my laundry is never done, if I have clothes everywhere, if I have stuff all over the floor, it's probably not gonna reflect very well on myself mentally. I'm probably not gonna feel as productive and I'm gonna be overwhelmed by everything that's in my peripheral. I don't know about you, but I find it really hard to get anything done when I'm in a really messy space. So put some time into decluttering your surroundings and I swear it'll declutter your brain as well. Number 2, don't let your mood dictate what you do. This has been something that I've seen on social media a lot recently. It's been kind of a hook that people have been using on Reels. I think this is something that I've taken into account for a long time, but this wording is really moving. Don't let your mood dictate what you do. Your mood will change based off of what you do. If you wake up and you feel like crap, you can't control that. But if all you do in that day contributes to you feeling like crap, eating bad food, doing nothing, scrolling through social media endlessly, just trying to get through the day in that sense, you're probably not going to feel any better. But if you force yourself to go on a little walk, go sit in the sunshine for a little bit, journal, write something down, drink a glass of water, nourish your body properly, you'll probably feel better. It's really easy to say, oh, I just don't feel like it today, I'm in a bad mood, whatever, and to just nourish that bad mood because that's easy. It's so easy to be bad. It's hard to be good. But if you push through, I'm sure your mood will change. Number 3, movement creates energy. This kind of relates to number 2, only it's more about physical energy versus your mental state. We all have days where we wake up and the last thing that we want to do is go train. The last thing that we want to do is go for a walk. The last thing that we want to do is because we're either tired or fatigued or have no energy. As soon as you start moving, as soon as you start stretching, that energy will come. This is not to be confused with your body needing rest. Listen to your body. If it needs a rest day, give it a rest day. But for the most part, we're just trying to cheat ourselves, let's be honest. So try to keep in mind on those days where moving feels so hard and it's the last thing that you want to do and it just seems like such a big task that you don't want to tackle, that movement will create energy and the energy will come. Don't jack yourself up on caffeine. Wait it out, move your body, watch that energy flow. Number 4, create realistic goals. This sounds so pessimistic. I'm not saying don't have big goals, but I'm saying create realistic goals as well. We can have our big goals, but without these little micro goals or milestones, if you want to call them milestones, how can we achieve that big goal? How can we create that plan to achieve that big goal? Say my goal is to be a millionaire by 22, which wouldn't be the worst thing ever. Say my goal is to be a millionaire by 22, but that's all I've got. How am I gonna get there? We can start with building little goals from the ground up. Little things that we can change our day-to-day lifestyle that will set us up to be a more successful person. Like drinking water before each meal, going for a walk, having brainstorm sessions, meditative sessions, making sure that our mindset is set up for a positive outcome. These are little goals that are so much more achievable and will give you something more to stand on to achieve that big goal. So have your big goals, but set up the little goals as well. Number 5, you literally are what you eat. When my parents used to tell me this when I was a kid, I used to picture like a walking piece of pizza. But growing up and learning how to take care of myself and my body, I've realized that it's so true. You might not look any different. You might still look the way that you want to, but you might feel a lot different. The instant gratification that we get from bad foods, I'm putting bad in quotations because I don't think that any foods are bad. We just need to eat things in moderation, but that's a whole other topic. The instant gratification that we get from bad foods is undeniable. And sometimes that's what we need, a little pick-me-up. We want to have a little treat, a little sweet, you know? No judgment, no blame. But if 90% of what we eat is not great for us, is not nutritious, is not filling out all of the requirements that our body needs, you might not look different. You might not put on weight or lose weight or whatever. You might not look unhealthy. But you need to be nourishing your body. Not just your body. Think of your brain. Think of how big of an organ your brain is and how much it needs to function properly. The amount of brain fog and fatigue that I get when I don't nourish myself properly is relentless. So it's not necessarily about what you see in the mirror, what you see on the scale when it comes to feeding yourself. It comes down to how productive you are, how your mindset is, how focused you are. All of these things are affected by what you eat. Number six, wait on things. This is something that a friend of mine pointed out to me recently, and it's something that I've been really trying to do. Wait on things. Take your time to decide. You don't have to decide things right away. We live in a society where is instancy a word? I don't know. But immediate action is expected. Immediate replies, immediate updates, immediate replies, immediate updates, immediate yada yada yada. Take time. You don't have to respond to that text right away. You don't have to respond to that email right away. You don't have to decide on a vehicle right away. These are things that could relate to huge decisions and tiny decisions as well. It could come down to choosing a house. It could come down to choosing a pair of shoes. Don't make decisions too quick. Don't put yourself in a position where you have to choose quick, right? Give yourself time to decide. Give yourself time to find what's right for you and make sure that you're making that right decision for yourself. Take your time to decide. Number 7, cut off rotten people. Cut off rotten people. This sounds so harsh, and honestly it is. And it's something that is really, really, really hard to do. A lot of us are people pleasers, even if we don't think that we are. We don't want people to dislike us. We don't want to burn bridges. But sometimes it has to happen. For you and your success, I keep putting quotation marks around success because it's all relative. For you and your success, you need to be surrounded by good people. You need to be surrounded by people that have your back. You can't have fake people in your group. You can't have people that are secretly wishing ill on you or praying for your downfall. You can't. If you have goals that you want to achieve, you can't let anything stand in the way of that or in the way of you. It doesn't matter how far back you've gone with certain people. If they're having only a negative influence on your life, why are you keeping them around? In my short life, I've distanced myself from a lot of people. Sometimes because life happens, and sometimes because they just don't align with what I want to be. And that's okay. Not everyone's gonna be your cup of tea, and you're not gonna be everyone's cup of tea. Just make sure that you're putting yourself first. Number 8, stop caring about things that you can't control. I wanna say this is self-explanatory, but I know that this is really hard for a lot of people. I myself tend to micromanage. I like to be in control. I like to know everything that's happening. I like to be in the decision-making seat. But that's not always gonna be what's gonna happen. Sometimes my friends are gonna do stuff that I don't really agree with. That's not my choice. Sometimes somebody's gonna swerve in front of me on the road. I can't change how bad of a driver they are. Why would you let it consume you? There's so many things that happen to us, whether it be through family or through friends or through work, that we can't control. It comes down to somebody else and their actions. It's not worth clouding your headspace. It's not worth taking your energy. Whatever outcome is gonna happen, and you're gonna be able to deal with the outcome. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it's hard to do, but it's pretty self-explanatory. Stop caring about the things you can't control. It's not worth your time. Number 9, accept your body. This is something, again, so easy to say, so hard to do. But I'm gonna tell you something that really changed my mindset. For so long, I was consumed with the body positivity movement. And I think it's a great thing. Pointing out the stretch marks are fine, your cellulite's fine, your rolls are fine, all of these things. You can't change your bone structure. All of these things are great to acknowledge. And again, you have to stop caring about things that you can't control. But everything that I kind of read into was still in a very visual sense. It was still kind of talking about your body as if it was something to see, something to look at, something that needed to look nice. And even though it always looks nice, because that's what the body positivity movement is, even though every body is beautiful, it's still kind of instilling that idea that your body is a decorative thing. Switching my mindset from that and focusing on understanding that my body is not a decorative piece, it's not a centerpiece. It's a living, breathing organism really helped me. Throughout the day, it's gonna blow. It's gonna change. You're gonna grow, you're gonna shrink, you're gonna lose muscle, you're gonna gain muscle, you're gonna breathe. Like it's a living, breathing organism. And everything that your body is doing it to keep you alive. You're not gonna look like you do on Instagram all the time. And that's just life. Your skin's gonna change, your hair's gonna change. You're gonna get wrinkles. You're gonna have breakouts. You're a living and breathing organism. Switching my mindset to this from trying to accept my flaws really made it easier for me to accept my body. Last but not least, number 10. Chase happiness. This is another thing that is super easy to say and super hard to do. Chase happiness. Sounds easy enough, doesn't it? There's so many things that could stand in our way that makes it hard to chase happiness. Finances, relationships, family, career. The list goes on and on and on and on. But happiness doesn't need to be a week-long trip to Bali. Happiness doesn't need to be getting our dream job tomorrow. Happiness doesn't need to be any of these huge things. Happiness could be a nice cup of coffee in the morning. Happiness could be a nice walk on a sunny day. Happiness could be all of these little things that we do every single day, but we don't soak in. We don't appreciate these little moments. Obviously, I want to encourage you to find a career that you enjoy. Be with someone that you enjoy. Create a family that you enjoy being with. But sometimes these changes can't happen overnight. Something that we can do in our day-to-day to chase that happiness is to just try to find those beautiful moments within your routine. You don't need to go drop a bunch of money on something to make you happy. You technically have all of the ingredients to happiness already in your life, I guarantee you, even if you're rich or poor or whatever. It's all about your mindset. So of course, in the long term, I want you to chase your dream. I want you to chase your happiness. I want you to be in a position where you are happy, where it's easy to be happy. But even when you're there, there's gonna be good days and bad days. And even when you're there, it's gonna feel like you need more and more and more. That's the trick. But if you can find that way to be happy in these little moments and appreciate these beautiful little things in your life right now, the way that it is, it's not only gonna put you on a better path towards what you want, but it's gonna ensure that when you get there, when you achieve that goal, you're not gonna still be hungry for more. You're gonna be content, you're gonna be happy, you're gonna be able to relax, right? It's all in your mindset. And that, friends, was 10 life things that I wish I knew sooner. Super quick, super to the point. I tried to be quick and easy, but I hope that you can carry some of these things with you like I have been. And I hope that some of these things will help you reach your next step. If you like this video and you're like me and you appreciate fitness and wellness and creating a better lifestyle for yourself, hit that subscribe button and check me out on Instagram for a bunch more content. Let's keep growing together. Until next Sunday, I'll see you